fire and ice. The snowstorm finally arrives in Colorado,
providing some much-needed relief for firefighters.
We're taking the opportunity while we have this break in the weather to really tuck in some edges.
But it is freezing. Roads are slick and the snow isn't letting up overnight.
I'm tracking the cold and the snow. I'll let you know what you can expect by tomorrow morning.
And as the freezing temperatures set in, patios remain empty at restaurants that rely on outdoor dining to seat more customers.
We want to keep our business alive.
Plus, beat down in the snow.
The Chiefs put up more than 40 points and snapped the Broncos' winning streak.
Our whole team just got beat today by them.
This week wasn't the best for me.
It's been more than a month and a half since we've seen any snow here in Colorado, and now that it's finally here, the snow doesn't seem to want to go away.
And it is freezing out there as we take live looks all across the state. In Denver here, it's just 10 degrees, and areas across Colorado are all in the teens right now.
Now, despite the cold, the snow is being welcomed by crews battling historic wildfires.
And these pictures really prove that. The Grand Lake Fire Protection District put these on Facebook, saying they can see all of the hot spots being smothered and steaming from the snow. And there's more good news on the East Troublesome fire tonight. Many people out of their homes for days in Estes Park are allowed to go home tonight.
Evacuation orders for some parts of the town are now just voluntary, but crews warn that people should still be ready to leave at a moment's notice. We want to get straight to our team coverage on this snowstorm. Lance Hernandez is live in Grand County tonight.
And first, we want to get to meteorologist STACEY Donaldson. STACEY, tonight we are seeing accidents all over on these icy streets, closures on interstates like I-25 and I-70, so heads up in the morning.
Absolutely, and bundle up while you're at it because our wind chill factors are well below zero outside now, and that will be the case tomorrow morning. But thank you, Mother Nature, for showing up with this snowfall today. 17 inches of snow so far at Mishawaka. That's just east of Red Feather Lakes, up near where the fires are burning. So substantial snowfall in the high country and here across the Front Range. 14.2 inches for Fort Collins, 11.5 for Loveland, 11 for Nederland, and 10 for Boulder, where we had reports of whiteout conditions at times today. 7.5 for Longmont and 5 in Denver, and the snow will keep coming tonight as we continue to see bands rolling across the Front Range and the plains. So what this means when we talk about banding is that there are heavier pockets of snow coming down. So you might see a little light snow at times, and then a burst of snow comes along, and that's going to be the case in through tomorrow morning. We still have snow across the eastern plains as well, up in the high country and down to the south toward Colorado Springs, Pueblo, and Walsenburg, and you can see that heavier snow moving off to the northeast. Winter storm warnings in effect through tomorrow morning, and that includes the Denver area all the way across western Colorado. Winter weather advisory for about 3 to 6 inches of snowfall tonight for the eastern plains. So it's going to be a cold one, only 5 degrees for an overnight low with that cold and that snow with those wind chill values below zero. We are going to be talking about when this storm actually moves out of the state coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, STACEY.
And now we want to get out to Grand County, where Denver7's Lance Hernandez has been all weekend tracking the East Troublesome fire.
And Lance, this storm will definitely slow things down, but crews tell you do not expect the snow to completely put out this fire.
Well, the snow is a mixed blessing for firefighters and evacuees. You know, it helps dampen the tinder dry fuels, but it also makes operating fire equipment much more of a challenge. And the cold temperatures accompanying this snow can freeze pipes, which is a big concern for evacuees. So today, the Grand County Sheriff organized a posse of volunteers to help deal with that concern.
A convoy of authorized volunteers drove past this roadblock and onto Grand Lake today. Their goal? To winterize the mountain homes of as many evacuees as possible.
Basically, it's just preventing those pipes from breaking, doing any type of quick, 10 or 15 minute things that they can get in there and do, and then get out.
Grand County Sheriff Brett Schroetlin says they're trying to keep the East Troublesome disaster from multiplying.
We don't know the fate of our property for sure.
Homeowner Rod Archer told Denver7 on Friday he was worried about two things: flames and freezing cold.
If there is still a house there, I know the power is off. I know that it's going to be very cold on Sunday, and if I can't get there to winterize the house, the pipes are going to freeze.
Which could cause a lot of damage. The sheriff says it's unsafe to let homeowners back in, but escorted volunteers touching base with the homeowners can help. Joe Kelly and his son Caleb volunteered. They see multiple benefits.
We could start learning from today what areas could be safe to let people get back in and get other people in houses.
It's definitely pretty cool to help out my community.
Some of Caleb's friends lost homes.
It's pretty devastating to me knowing like a bunch of my buddies' houses and stuff are gone and like their parents have to rebuild and stuff like that, but as long as everyone's safe, that's what really matters.
More than 1,000 homeowners have requested winterization help. The sheriff not sure if they can get to all of them.
If we can save half that, then that's better than zero.
And Sheriff Schröetlin says his goal is to get all those evacuees back into their homes sooner rather than later. I asked if he was talking days or weeks. He said he didn't know yet. It depends on fire behavior. Lance Hernandez, Denver 7.
All right, thanks, Lance. And this snow isn't just helping the East Troublesome fire. Crews were able to make good progress on the CALWOOD fire in Boulder County. It's now 76% contained, and at last check, it's burned through more than 10,000 acres. It's been a little less than a week since we opened our Denver7 Gives Fund to help families impacted by these historic wildfires.
Colorado, hundreds of you have responded by donating more than $81,000 to the fund so far. Tomorrow, we're making it even easier to donate, and we'll be hosting a call center from 4 to 6:30 in the afternoon. Our team will be standing by to take your call. You can also donate right now. Just head on over to thedenverchannel.com and click on Denver7 Gives.
And also on our website, you can find the latest on this storm, plus any closures and delays in place. During a usual snowstorm, schools across the state would be calling for snow days, but in this pandemic, some districts are now opting to keep the learning going and simply keep everyone online. That includes districts like Denver Public Schools, which is going 100% remote for all students tomorrow. You can also find details on closures on your Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, or Android device. There you can find our 24/7 weather forecast. Just search Denver7 to start watching for free.
And just a heads up, due to the cold weather, the state is keeping 5 COVID-19 testing sites closed tomorrow. That includes the sites at Waterworld, the Aurora Sports Park, and Stasio Ball Fields in Boulder County. There are still more than 50 free community testing sites that are available. To find the one closest to you, just visit the state's COVID-19 website.
And as some testing sites close for the storm, coronavirus cases are rising sharply here in Colorado. We added another 1,500 new cases just today, but the total jumped by 109 more than that as state health staff added in numbers that were not properly reported this month. The number of hospital beds in use by COVID-19 patients or those suspected of having it stands at 586. That number is slightly down from yesterday and still below the peak of nearly 1,300 that we saw near the start of the pandemic.
And Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman is isolating after a positive coronavirus test. He says he had a cough and cold-like symptoms on Thursday, so he went home. Kaufman says he no longer has symptoms. Aurora is part of both Adams and Arapahoe counties, which have been seeing among the highest infection rates in recent weeks. Now this Wednesday, Adams County gyms are going to close and capacity will be reduced at other businesses as cases surge. Also, gatherings are limited to 10 people for most of the state and all of the Denver metro. And with group sizes being limited across the state, restaurants already struggling are looking at the real possibility they might have to further restrict their dining rooms.
Now, the fix so far in this pandemic, expanding outside to seat more people. But with this snowstorm, businesses are already seeing no outdoor seating is going to cost them.
Here's Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez.
It was only going to last for so long. We had gotten used to seeing people eating outdoors, but now with these cold temperatures, restaurants are having to reimagine how to keep people safe and warm. A warm Italian meal on a snowy Denver day can be the perfect combination.
Red wine, pasta, all of that really brings people to us for that, seeking that comfort food.
But dining outside in colder temperatures isn't a comfortable option.
You don't really want to be snowed on when you're, ordering a lovely entree dish.
So now restaurants like Luca are having to get creative once again.
It will be an enclosed patio structure with, we have heat lamps coming in.
It's something the rest of the restaurants near Grant and 7th could also get behind.
We've talked to many other restaurants around the city. They're also doing things like building enclosures and outdoor spaces or indoor-outdoor kind of combination between.
The goal isn't only to bring in more guests, but to fight the spread of COVID-19, as Colorado has seen an increase in cases.
We've heard rumors and things that as we move forward and as we've seen this past week, how many cases have reported that we might have to move to a 25% capacity, or maybe we'll have another shutdown all over again. and that does worry us.
They're willing to do everything they can to keep the doors open and staff working, all while keeping people safe. Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.